Hey, this is Browns beat writer Nate Ulrich from the Akron Beacon Journal alongside Steve Doerschuk, the Canton Repository Browns beat writer, and we're here to do 3 and Out, previewing the Browns and the Ravens game Sunday. We're going to do 3 keys of the game, and we're going to time ourselves this time to make ourselves go 3 and Out quickly. We're going to go about 90 seconds each topic. Steve, why don't you kick us off? I'm going to start the watch here, and we're on the clock.
Okay, I'm going to start by talking about what kind of progress Baker Mayfield made or didn't make at Oakland, and in the mind of Baltimore defensive coordinator Don Wink Martindale, he progressed exponentially. Martindale said today that this Mayfield kid is the generation's Brett Favre or John Elway, so he went off the deep end, which gave Todd Haley quite a laugh. Now, he didn't progress, obviously, to the point where any reasonable person would be making that observation, but I thought he did make real progress, and I thought he did stay very poised. 42 points, the most points the Browns have scored in more than 10 years, was pretty good progress, led by the quarterback Mayfield.
A huge key to this game is Mayfield not giving the other team points, though. The Browns had 4 turnovers. Not all of them were on Mayfield. Certainly the Antonio Callaway, the pass was intended for Antonio Callaway that resulted in a pick 6, went off Callaway's hands. But there were other issues there, a couple of fumbles, an issue with J.C. Treader, the quarterback center exchange. The communication has to be excellent, and that goes on both those guys. So basically, I thought Mayfield did a lot of really good things against the Raiders. I thought he showed great resilience, but he's got to clean up some of the communication. As he said, little details. You got to clean those up to eliminate the turnovers. And we are on to the next topic, Steve. I think that this one is going to be just a huge key that's related to Mayfield, but it's going to be the Browns going against the Ravens defense and everything they bring to the table. What's your scout on that?
My scout on that is that Baltimore's defense, I think, is overperforming to this stage in the game. I see Baltimore as, if not a fading team, just an average to a kind of good team, and that flows off of their defense, which has always been the team's strength over there. The 2 players who were mentioned today by Coach Hugh Jackson were old guys, Weddle #1 and Suggs #2, and whereas they are still performing at an acceptable level and maybe a real fine level, they're still old and they could go at any time. So I don't think that the #1 ranking that Baltimore has right now is indicative of the kind of defense they really have.
Maybe not, but they do have some great players, some older players too, but still really good. Eric Weddle, the safety, that's going to be a guy that is going to try to play mind games with Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield's going to have to watch out for that matchup. And Terrell Suggs, he's been around forever. He's got so many sacks. I think 128 career sacks. I've got right here 18 against the Browns. That's more than any other team he's faced. He has the most against the Browns. Undrafted rookie left tackle Desmond Harrison has really improved since week 1 when things were pretty shaky for him. But this is going to be the ultimate test. Suggs and Joe Thomas went against each other for 10 years. Now it's Harrison stepping into that matchup. And with that, we are on to our third topic. Steve, I got to give you credit, Steve. We're on the clock again. You made a prediction last week saying the Raiders would beat the Browns because the Raiders were very desperate under John Gruden at 0-3, and the Raiders did get the win. The Browns now, I think you view as a very desperate team at 1-2-1 going against a 3-1 Ravens team. How do you see that playing a factor in this one?
Nate, I think the desperation factor is huge for any team, and where will you find more desperation than you find or should find right here in Berea, Ohio, where the team was 1-31 the past 2 seasons, and now is reeling with only 1 win after 4 new games in this set of games this season. But the Browns are really desperate. What I don't know, Nate, is if desperation and their talent and their experience level and their maturity as a team is enough to beat a very, well, I don't want to say super talented, but again, Baltimore's a good team. They're going to have to prove they can beat a good team in a climate where they haven't beaten any team for so long.
I think this about the Browns. They are confident. Demarius Randall said the other day they're supposed to be 4-0. If you look at some of the problems with the kicking game in the first couple of games, you consider the Carlos Hyde measurement by the officials and the reversal of that call, I think that there are some valid reasons to point to that. But coulda, shoulda, woulda, we hear that all the time. It's time to get the job done. They are back home against the Ravens, and this is going to be a huge opportunity. And I think they've got to start getting this thing rolling here, because after these two games at home with Baltimore and then the Chargers coming to town next week, yeah, they go and they play Tampa Bay. I think the schedule gets pretty rough after that. So we are out. You heard the alarm. George Thomas is waving us out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.